Take a look at Brady video where I talk about the House elections of 2024. So without further ado, 2022, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, starting with the state of Alabama, nothing real there. The state of Alaska, I do agree with this likely Republican characterization. In the state of Arizona, the first state that has some contested races. I believe the first district will be lean for Tom O'Halloran, as that race is not trending blue, and Tom O'Halloran only won in 2020 by a margin of under 3 percentage points. And then going to the district right here, David Schroeder. That race will down to. Arkansas, Virtual, basically California. See, he did flips. Hello everybody and welcome back to today's video. Today we're going to take a look at a Brady video where I talk about the 2022 Senate elections, House elections, if the maps stay the same. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Starting from Alabama, nothing really there. Alaska, likely Republican. I would say so, not really lean Republican. I would put it as likely for the Republicans. Arizona, we have some interesting results here. Tom O'Halloran, I do believe, will win by a lean to tilt margin. If we look at the map here, he did win by approximately 3% in the 2020 presidential election, so that will be a lean state for the district for the Democrats. Going to district right here, it was rated as a toss-up. I do believe the Republican incumbent will win here because, again, he won here by 5 points. I think the districts right here will narrow down, but not necessarily enough so to say that the map is really that competitive. Now, there are some competitive seats in the second and the third. I guess somewhat competitive seats. Arizona's second is pretty much considered by me to be a likely Democratic seat. It's not going to be safe, so I'm going to put that in the likely Republican column. Going to the state of Arkansas, French Hill is likely going to win re-election by a likely margin, just like she did in 2020. Going to the state of California, there are some contested races. The 21st District of California was won by Joe Biden by over 10 points. However, T.J. Cox did lose re-election. I do believe this race will tilt towards the Republicans. Going to the district of the 20th District, 50th District of California, this race I rate as likely for the Republicans. Now going into California's first. I think this district, honestly, isn't super competitive. It's just the margin here. California's first, again, Mafa, I do believe, will win by a likely safe margin. Going to California's fourth, though, that race likely Republican. Josh Harder from the 10th district. Really, there's not going to be much, not super competitive likely margin there. For the California 21st District, I rated as tilt for the Republicans. Going to the California 22nd District, Devin Nunes. The Devin Nunes, I think that is the 22nd Congressional District. Alright, so Nunes, I think likely is the best. Yeah, it's likely. Mike Garcia is going to win the election. I'll rate that as lead for the Republicans. The 39th Congressional District of California, the 39th here, I think it's somewhere in LA. The 39th Congressional District is in Los Angeles. The 39th. We'll just check up here, the 39th Congressional District. Let's zoom into Los Angeles. Okay, so 39. Whoa. I think I saw it, the 39. Alright, so it's this district right here, which is rated as likely for the Republicans. 39. Whoa. I can't find it for some reason. Let me see. So, this map, 39 was here, so if we go to the House results, the 39th was actually flipped for the Republicans. So, I do believe that district will flip back into the Democratic column, tilt for the Democrats. Going to a few of these races here. The district right here, Harry Roddo seat here. I believe he lost re-election, if I'm not mistaken. So he did win his re-election. That district, I think, will tilt in the Republican favor. Going to full size here. San Francisco, there's nothing there. San Diego, nothing there. We've went through the entire map. These are my projections here. Looking at this map, not really anything I'll say that much out of the ordinary. Colorado, I do believe that the Republican, I can't believe I forgot Lauren Boebert's name. Really, I think she'll win by a likely margin. The Colorado's 5th is a little bit more competitive than you think, but it's not going to be that competitive after all. Jason Crow's district is a little bit competitive. It's trending blue rapidly. I believe, really, there's nothing too much here in the state of Colorado. Going to Connecticut, I think there are some more competitive seats. However, none of these are super competitive seats. I say that the Democrats wouldn't necessarily lose. Going to the standard map of Connecticut, there aren't really that much competitive districts. Hayes may be in some trouble, so I'm going to leave that as a likely for the Democrats. Delaware is, I think it might be likely. I'll just label as safe right now. Florida, there's a couple of interesting races here. I will not, actually I'll just go through it regardless. I think there are some competitive races here. First of all, in these two races, Charlie Crist, I do believe he'll be in a likely race, not a safe race. Charlie Crist isn't popular enough, so I'll say his race is basically safe. Going down to Florida here, in the race, I believe that Phil Murphy and Soto will both win by likely margins, just like in 2020. Going to both of these races here, I think the 26th of state of Florida is lean for the Republicans as Biden's underperformance. However, I do believe that the Honor Shalano seat is a likely tilt for the Democrats. That will be a flip because this district was only that going to Republicans because of Biden being on the ballot, and without Biden, it's probably going to flip back to the Democrats. Going to the 15th, that's really not that contested of a district here. Really, it is likely for the Republicans, and then this district right here is basically safe. The 18th, I think, could be safe if we look at this map here. Yeah, it was safe. It was close to safe in 2020. It was very close to safe in 2020. I'll label that as likely just for now. Going to the state of Georgia. The state of Georgia, Rob Wodow, the Republican who decided to not run for re-election in 2020, I do believe that race will be lean for the Democrats. Lucy McBath, the Democrat, will win in this race. I think the second will narrow down a little bit, not by much though. And yes, so I do believe Barry Loudermilk's district will not get more competitive. Hawaii, nothing there. Idaho, nothing there. Indiana, the 5th, I think will be lean for the Republicans if the map stays the same, and the 1st district will be likely for the Democrats. Go to the state of Iowa. The state of Iowa is pretty interesting. I think I'll go up and go with a lean to likely characterization for the Iowa district right up here. If we look at the state of Iowa, this district was lean for Republicans. Miller Meek's district was decided by 6 votes over Rita Hart. I think that district will be tilted for the Republicans, and the district right here will be tilted for the Democrats. Actually, I think the second will be lean. So this is my, after all, projections here. Kansas, Steve Hawkins' district is likely for Democrats. Republicans, I agree. Shireen Davis's seat, I think, will be likely not safe. Kentucky. Andy Barr's district is basically safe for the Republicans. I don't think it will be contested anyhow. After all, Kentucky's 3rd congressional district, I think, will be safe for the Democrats. Louisiana, yeah, nothing really there. Maine, Jake Golden will be a much tougher race in 2022. I will label that in the tilt red column just for now. Going to the state of Maryland. The state of Maryland, nothing really contested there. That is just a map. The 6 I do not believe will be contested anyways. Going to say Massachusetts, pretty safe for the Democrats. If we look at, there are a couple of races that I think is a little bit more contested, but yet, I guess a little bit more competitive, but really not contested. Neil's district, not really contested. None of these districts were really very competitive. Michigan, very interesting. The 3rd district, I think the district in the 6th, I think that will be a likely Republican seat. There, go to 5th. The 5th is not a safe seat for the Democrats after all. It was a seat where Democrats did win by 13, but not a safe seat. I think that this district right here, I will label that as a tilt for the Republicans. Going to some of these districts, and 11 might be drawn out in 2022. However, in this map, he should have no trouble. These 2 districts, I think that Stockton's district may get a little bit closer. I think it will be tilt for the Republicans. Democrats, however, I do not see a pathway for the Democrats to flip these seats here. The 8th seat, the 8th congressional district. If we look at the 8th congressional district of the state of Minnesota, this race is not that contested. These 2 races, however, both of them going to Republicans. I don't think these 7 will be contested really. However, the first will be contested. I think these 2 seats may be more competitive than their initial ratings. However, both of these seats, I do believe, will pretty much go to Democrats. I don't see a pathway for Republicans to actually pick up these 2 seats. Maybe the 2nd, but really not I believe, the 3rd or something. But yeah, Mississippi, nothing real there. 1 safe blue district, and yes. Missouri, the 2nd district, I'll put that as a lead towards the Republicans. The Republicans will have no trouble really winning that seat. Montana's likely not lean. Really, Democrats will not be able to flip the seat. Nebraska, Don Bacon, very popular incumbent, lean red. Nevada, I think there might be some seats that are more contested than the map actually shows. I think the state is overall pretty competitive. I think that both of these seats, I think, will narrow down a little bit. I think both of these seats will be rated as lead for me. The 2nd, I think, could narrow down to likely, but right now it is still in the safe blue red column. Going to the state of New Hampshire. The race is pretty gerrymandered. I would like to rate both of these races as likely. Possibly the first as lean, but actually, I don't think so, just because of, currently speaking, the state of New Hampshire with its Democratic lean, definitely the state, I do believe, will be rated as like this. Jeff Van Drew, I think, would win re-election. The 7th is also contested. This is also a race where Democrats has some trouble in 2024, and I do believe this race will still nearly retain the Democrat column. Social College small seat will go to Republicans by a likely margin in this scenario. Go to this map. If we look at all these districts, we can first zoom into Long Island. I do believe that the Zeldin's district will be pretty much going to her or him, but if we look at this, if we look at these districts right here, I believe that this district will be in the likely blue column. I think that this district will be in the likely red column. Line trending blue, but not trending blue at a fast rate. If we go to the NYC metro area, this district right here, the Republican definitely probably winning that seat. I really don't see the Democrats really edging out that seat. They really don't have any luck in that seat. Also, I do believe the seat right here will be more like a likely Democratic seat. If we go to New York City, yeah, that's basically how it is. Full size, though, Governor Berzizi, I think the race is very close. John Calto, I do believe that will be a lean Republican seat. DeSantis is very close. I do believe it will tilt in the Republican column. The map right here. Anthony DeGito's seat, if we go to the President 2020 data, it was 12 points for the incumbent, so I do believe he'll win pretty easily by his re-election bid. North Carolina 6, really that district should not be contested. That's safe for the Democrats. George Holdings district, I'm not actually that sure. I think that the seat shouldn't really be contested, but whatever. Yeah, both of these races weren't really that close after all. So these incumbents did not even run. Again, I think that the seat right here will be likely for the Republicans, and then the seat right here, Debbie Ross, definitely that seat's likely. Butterfield seat is considered likely for the Democrats. North Dakota, nothing there. Ohio, there's some interesting scenarios here. The first, I think, will be very close. I think the Republicans will hold on. Not in 2024, but in 2022. Tim Ryan seat, it's not safe. Alright, it's trending red rapidly. That's a lean Democratic seat. Going to the state of Oklahoma. Kendra Horn seat, very close. Alright, I think not very close. That's a likely seat for the Republicans to pick off the state of Oregon. No, it's much closer than what these results show. Kurt Cheater's district, I think that district will be in the likely Democratic column. Pennsylvania, the Harrisburg district, that district is leaning towards the Republicans. I do believe that Conor Lamb will maybe have some trouble, especially if he runs for a Senate race, so I'm going to tilt that towards the Republicans. Going to the 8th Congressional District, that district is quite close, alright? The 8th district, if we look at in the state of Pennsylvania, I think Cartwright may have some trouble, but yeah, probably. I can rate that as tilt for the Democrats. Really, it's very close in that race. I think Pennsylvania 6, from my opinion, is probably closer. Yeah, it is closer than that, so I do rate this as a likely seat for the Democrats. Rhode Island, nothing really too safe. Too competitive there. South Carolina, Joe Cunningham. Definitely, I don't think he'll even run in the seat again, likely a Republican. South Dakota, yeah, nothing there. Tennessee, Jim Cooper. I think his seat is a little bit more competitive than this. Honestly, I don't really know that much because he was not contested in 2020. So yes, 23rd of the state of Texas. That seat is leaning toward the Republicans because of the Hispanic vote. Go to these 3 seats. These 3 seats are not safe for the Republicans. These seats were very close in 2020 presidential election. Some of these at least were. I think Gonzalez's seat, Gonzalez did not even win by 3 points. So, again, I'm not sure. I think the 34th will be likely. I think Gonzalez's seat will be very close. I think it will be tilt. Now, in the Houston area, if we go to Houston, alright, Pete Olsen's district, I think, will be likely leaning for the Republicans. I think the Lizzie Felcher's district will be leaning for the Democrats, however, trending blue rapidly. Dan Crenshaw's district will be likely. Michael McCall's district, I think, will be leaning toward the Republicans as well. Okay, so this district's also lean. If we go to Central Texas, Wait, what? That's Central Texas? Alright, so, again, this district, Chip Roy's district, I think will be lean towards the Republicans. Michael McCall's district, Roger William, probably in the likely column. Going to Dallas, however, if we look at Dallas here, I don't think Hattie Marshall's district will flip. Just right now, I'll tell that in the Republican column, I think the seat here will be likely. Van Taylor's district, I think the margin will be a little bit higher, especially in a midterm that's expected to go to Democrats pretty, to not favor the Democrats, but whatever. The state of Utah, Ben McAdams, that seat is likely for the Republicans. Vermont, Virginia, I think Spamberger actually lose because this is a rule seat. So yeah, the 5th was not really contested in 2020. Washington State, I don't think there's much there. Kim Shader probably going to win. I'm not sure if it's lean or likely. I think it's going to be maybe lean. Yeah, I'd probably say likely for this seat and then lean for, likely and then lean for this seat. So, yeah, West Virginia. We stay in West Virginia, Wisconsin. Ron Johnson's, the first is much more competitive than this. I think it's likely for the Republicans. Not much more, but more competitive. Ron Johnson, that seat is going to flip. Basically, right now, there's no way that seat's not going to flip. Wyoming, we have that solid red district. I may make some changes here. Alright, I'll just go back to the United States of America map here. I may see a few changes. Right now, this is probably my prediction. I do have a few races here. North Carolina, this seat right here is likely. Not really lead for the Democrats. Right now, I don't see much differences from this map. There might be a few small changes. Oh, Illinois. I missed Illinois for some reason. I think I missed Illinois, yeah. Laura Underwood is in a much more competitive seat than it labels here. I think the Democrats will end up losing a seat right here, and then the Democrats, Rowdy Davis will end up winning his seat. So this ends the map 219 to 216 if the redistricting never happened. So yes, I have been doing this basically monthly. So again, I think I'm starting to say that the Democrats are likely going to do worse than previously. So yes, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.